Sam and Damien from Donington Auction, Sydney here. On the 6th of July, we'll be concluding our online collector car auction. Featured will be classic vehicles, modern classics, race cars, memorabilia and more. Now, right now I'm sitting in a 1962 Lynx Formula Junior. A lot of people have come up to me and asked, is this a Brabham vehicle? Now, Damien, please expound on why people would be getting this confused with a Brabham vehicle.
Yeah, sure, Sam. So obviously it looks like a Brabham, but in fact the connection is because the car was designed by the legendary Ron Toranac, who of course went on to great fame working for Sir Jack. He designed a lot of the race cars that Brabham campaigned through the 1960s. And this was actually a design that Ron did in the late 1950s for a series of Formula Junior cars. And when he actually got the call to go and work in England with Brabham, he actually sold the blueprints and all the parts that he'd had made so far, including some cast alloy wheels with integral brakes. These were all sold to a group of Sydney-siders who formed a company called Lynx Engineering, and they went on to build about 16 different Formula Junior cars in Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3 form, and the one that you're currently sitting in is actually one of the Mark 3 cars. So it was built in 1962, a couple of years after the first one was made.
Now, being in Amaroo, I understand this car has actually got some Amaroo history.
It does, Sam, yeah. So the car actually raced at Amaroo Park's final event held in August 1998 at the track, which is just down here behind Donington's building. It actually finished fourth in that event. It was raced by Dick Willis from up in Coffs Harbour, who's well known in Australian historic, on the historic scene here in Australia. Dick campaigned the car for a number of years. It had actually already had quite a race history with the first owner, Peter Ganderton, who was a butcher down in the Wollongong area. He raced it in the early 60s. He ended up moving up to Queensland. He fitted a supercharger to the car to keep it competitive, and it was progressively updated to the sort of configuration we see here today. Like most race cars, it evolved over the years to remain competitive. It's now got front disc brakes on it, and various other components have been altered over the years, but the fundamentals of the car remain the same. It is chassis 114 I should say. So it's, I think, the third last of the Lynxes built. And yeah, it's presented in this fantastic condition that you see it today.
It seems like a great car for historic motorsport. Now, what categories would this qualify for?
Sure. Well, in its current configuration, Sam, it's eligible for Formula Junior events, not only here in Australia, New Zealand, North America, but also in Europe, where there's a really competitive Formula Junior racing scene. The Formula Junior Historic Association organises races at events like the Goodwood Revival. Every now and again they race at Monaco, and they have a series of races being held throughout the year. So yeah, the car is able to do all sorts of different events. And look, Formula Junior is actually probably the most cost-effective way of getting into historic racing, certainly in single-seaters, where you can race a car like this on a very limited budget and still remain competitive and have a fantastic time. So yeah, eligible for lots of events.
Now, as special as this car is, you're in quite something quite special as well, aren't you, Damien?
Sure. Well, the car I'm sitting in here is a little bit more serious than the Lynx in terms of, you know, being a later car, a much quicker car. It's a 1969 Chevron B15B. So that is a Formula 2 equivalent that was actually set up by the Sports Car Club of America. For all their single-seater racings, they had Formulas A, B and C from 1965 through until the late 60s. So Formula B was effectively anything up to 1600 cc's. And this particular car, the B15B, was actually the second of Chevron's attempts at making a Formula B car, the B14 being the first. So Chevron, of course, very well-known manufacturer, founded by Derek Bennett in Lancashire in the mid-60s. Probably better known for their sports and GT cars, but they did pretty well with their single-seaters, particularly in the lesser formula like Formula 3, Formula 2. They did ultimately build Formula 1 and Formula 5000 cars, but certainly they made their name with the smaller engine cars like this.
Okay, and from my understanding, that car comes with quite a spare parts catalogue as well.
It does, Sam. It actually has an enormous spares parts package which is included with the car. Effectively, you've got everything from, spare suspension componentry, all the gear sets, multiple sets of wheels, even bodywork, etc. So this is really a perfect car for someone ready to go vintage racing. It's been freshly rebuilt in the current owner's hands. It's ready to race effectively.
Great. So Damien, what are we expecting on these two cars?
Sure, Sam. So on the Lynx, we've got an estimate of $50,000 to $70,000, which, as I said, represents probably the cheapest way into a single-seater historic race car on the planet. The Chevron being a little bit more serious and coming with its extensive spares package, we're estimating that to sell between $85,000 and $100,000.
Great. Now, the full gallery of photos and the full write-up on both cars can be found on our website. Any questions, you can find our contact details on the website. And again, the auction will be starting on the 27th of June and concluding on the 6th of July.